If you are a coach or you run some kind of similar online business, you're going to love today's podcast episode. My friend Valerie Feghali is an expert in running challenges, and today she's giving us all of her nuggets of wisdom. Welcome to Better Than Happy. Find clients by running challenges. I'm Jody Moore. Let's do it. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I got to talk to Valerie Feghali recently, and in our conversation, we're going to share with you how we met one another, how we know each other. So I will go ahead and save that for just a minute. But Valerie was so kind and generous to come on here and share her insight and experience in running challenges. Such a great way to serve people, to get your name out there, to make an impact, and ultimately to grow your business. But I want to tell you just a little bit about Valerie before we dive into my conversation with her. Valerie spent 11 years working as a doctor of physical therapy before she realized that the thing her patients needed most was guidance on foundational health and nutrition. She left her physical therapy clinic to become a holistic health coach. She found that she loved coaching, but the content, the tech, and the delivery presented a massive learning curve. And she saw other coaches struggling to find resources that helped move them past these obstacles. Over the years, she began building tools for other coaches and taught them how to build successful businesses. Today, Valerie's the founder of the Wellness Vault, the content and client success app used by more than 2,500 health and wellness coaches. And she's the host of the Fuel the Flow podcast. She believes you don't have to do it alone and that there's always a way to grow your business with less overwhelm, starting with tools that allow coaches to fully step into their role as a leader and mentor. I'm so excited to share with you this conversation with Valerie Feghali. Please enjoy. Let's dive in.
Okay.
I thought it would be fun. We'll tell people how we know each other.
Okay.
But maybe first, why don't you give us a little bit of background just about who you are and how you got into doing what you're doing?
Sure. Okay. You want me to just start?
Yeah, just dive right in.
Okay. So what we have now, so our flagship product at this point is the Wellness Vault. So we work with health and wellness coaches to help them get content that they need for their clients to get success. So that could be meal plans, challenges, which we'll talk more about today, protocols, and all of that, those things that just take coaches a lot of time to build. And it's draining because really what they want to be doing is coaching. The coaching is the fun part. The coaching is why they got into this. They're not a design professional. They don't want to be spending hours in Canva. So we started creating that for them to be able to do custom work because we know in the health space that it needs to be able to be customized. So all of our plans are customizable. And now we're developing an app where they can actually deliver that too. And they can log their clients' food. They can send them notes. They can send them community and communication all via the app, which has been amazing. But all of this really started with me being in their shoes. So
I was going to say, you must have been a health coach. Yes.
Yes. So I started my career as a physical therapist. When my mom got sick with cancer, I saw kind of the lack of holistic health being a focal point in the medical space. And so with that gap and with seeing what was going on with my patients as a physical therapist, I started to transition more into the holistic health coaching space, which I loved and found true joy in. But while coaching, I realized there's just not these resources out there. And I was spending so much time on the back end, creating all this stuff when really I should have been there holding my client accountable, being there for questions, being there to, adjust their plans as needed instead of like playing in Canva, right? And so that's why we shifted and now I'm more on the business side helping other coaches and I love it. This is like my calling. This is where I'm meant to be. And so I get to help all these incredible coaches make a difference in so many people's lives. And I love to be able to support them because the work that they're doing is so meaningful.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So Valerie and I met through a mastermind that we're in. We're both in a 7-figure mastermind in a room full of pretty amazing people doing all kinds of different things. And we happened to be sitting by each other and I feel like had just so many things in common. Like we both work with coaches, obviously, but we're both moms. You're younger than me with some younger kids, but and we even kind of live near each other in Southern California area. And anyway, we just started connecting and realizing like, oh my gosh, and you have expertise though, and resources and knowledge that I don't have. And we have slightly different focuses. And so immediately we were like, we have to help each other because my audience needs what you have and your audience might need a little bit of what I have. And anyway, it's just been really fun to get to know you and mastermind with you in that group.
Absolutely. It's
So,
been so great. And one of the first things I noticed you is your style. You have incredible style.
oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
But yes, I mean, you are just the moment that I heard, the first moment that I ever heard you talk, I'm like, oh, wow, she's like a brilliant marketer. And so I need to learn from her. And I need my coaches that I work with to learn from you as well.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm excited that you're here. We've been talking about this for a while, and we're going to dive into a part of marketing that I actually don't have very much experience in. I was trying to think about this the other day when I knew you were coming on the show, and I was like, have I ever done a challenge really? I know I've thought about it before, but I don't know that I've certainly never done it the right way. And so I'm excited to learn this from you and maybe try it out myself, but we're going to dive a little bit into challenges. So tell us about how you got into challenges and why you think they're so effective.
Yeah. So I started running challenges really early on when I moved onto my own business and wasn't doing health coaching for clients. And I was having trouble getting traction because it's hard and you don't know when you first start your own business where to start. And so I was reaching out to referral sources, trying to do word of mouth, trying to post on social, and I wasn't getting a ton of traction until I started hosting challenges. And I think part of it was that it was fun for me. And that made a big difference because
Yes.
when you're launching something or you're, going to networking things and trying to get referral partners and you're not really enjoying that piece of it, it was always a lot of stress for me. When I transitioned into doing a lot of challenges, I realized like I can actually do this on a normal cadence, every quarter or every month because it fuels me and doesn't steal my energy. It really is fun for me as the host as well. And so
That's a huge indicator. I totally agree with that. Yes.
absolutely.
I love
And
that.
and so when we started, I started very small. My first challenge had 6 participants, right? And as a lot of challenges do with coaches who are just getting started in hosting challenges. And I did not see that as a downfall. Now, I've heard other coaches be disappointed with having 6. I didn't feel that way. When I first had 6, it was like, okay. And it was a paid challenge. This was like a $200 challenge for 12 weeks. It was longer than what I would recommend coaches do at this point.
Okay.
We've
Okay.
adjusted our framework.
I was gonna ask you that if you're
Yeah.
doing free or paid, and also I think it would be helpful to back up for just a minute, and even define what you mean by a challenge. I mean, it sounds
Yeah.
obvious, but like, how is this different from a webinar or a course? And are you doing this? I gather that this is like helping bring clients into your business as
Yes.
opposed to something that you're doing maybe with paying clients, or maybe you're doing both.
Yes.
Anyway,
So when I
7 questions I just gave you.
Yeah. So when I first started, the challenge kind of was the product. But what I
Okay.
realized after that, people wanted more after. So those 6 people, 2 of them were like, do you offer one on one? Can I do more group? Can I continue on? And that's when it hit me to be like, maybe I should be using this more as like a lead magnet rather than the product itself. And so I moved into now doing challenges more as a way to bring people into my business. It's a marketing
Okay.
strategy to
Okay.
bring people in, get some experience with my coaching before they invest a lot of money, and get a quick win so that then when they are in that momentum phase, they're ready to buy into the next thing. They've already matched with my energy. They know how I'm going to be as a coach with them. They're seeing progress and they're ready for more and they're excited for more. And
Yeah.
I think one of the best things about challenges too, so what to answer your question about what a challenge is, it's a um something where people are participating in getting their own personal win or result. And so as a health coach, as an example, you could run a 7-day sugar detox challenge, right? Where clients are avoiding all added sugars in their food. They are having, whole foods that are from nature, not from a box, right? And so that could be an example of a challenge that you run. And people go into that challenge knowing it's going to be hard. Just the word challenge alone implies that this is something that they're going to have to work towards and participate in. And
Mm.
so
Yeah.
it increases our live show up rates, it increases our engagement because they're prepared ahead of time to say, like, oh, this isn't just like sit back, relax type of thing. Like, I'm signing up for this knowing that it's going to be a challenge, right?
Oh,
Knowing
I
it's
like that. And
going.
yeah, and I like what you're saying about You have a more interested person who really wants a
Yeah.
transformation if they're because they're going to show up and do the work as opposed to a course or something where I'm gonna sit back and soak in what I want while I'm doing the dishes and maybe pay attention, but it's more
Yep.
entertaining. Sometimes I feel like when I do these big webinars or courses, I'm like, people just want to hear me talk. I mean,
Y
that's sweet and all, but I'm not
Right.
interested in entertaining you. I'm interested in helping you transform. So you
Right.
have a more interested,
Yep.
more committed person, I guess we would say. Yeah.
Absolutely. And how many times have people, or myself included, signed up for a webinar or workshop and been like, well, I'm just going to watch the replay when I have time, right?
Mm,
Whereas with the challenge, it's like, no, this challenge runs from Monday to Friday. You've got 5 days. We're going to do the work together. And so, again, it implies that like live component, that now, that urgency, that commitment to doing it. And so people are much more driven. And I do believe, like you said, you get better people into it, people who are ready and willing to do the work.
I have participated in a couple challenges too over the years as a
Mhm.
participant in and it is very like satisfying to get. I remember this was many years ago, but I did like a decluttering challenge,
Mhm.
and just I remember the first day was like, "We're gonna clean out under your bed today," and I remember
Yep.
thinking, "What? Under my bed? Like I don't even have to ever look there. Why would I do that?" But I did it, and yeah, there's just something so gratifying about like
Mhm.
okay, I can do this, and taking the baby steps.
Yes.
And I can see that. It reminds me of like when you sign up for like a software platform and they give you a free trial. And so you start
Mhm.
building editing your video or whatever. And then it's like, okay, do you want to pay for this? Well, yeah, I want to pay for it because now
Right.
I'm into this thing. I've got the
Yes.
momentum because getting started is the hard part,
Yes.
you know?
I've already
Anyway,
started. And it gives
yeah.
people that easy in. Like you said, like I think we can learn a lot from that declutter challenge because how simple is that you clean under your bed? It's one thing. They're not asking
Yes.
you on day 1 to clean your whole kitchen, right? They're saying
Right.
pick a drawer, pick under your bed and do that one thing. And making a simple task for people each day of the challenge, just one small thing, can go such a long way. Yep,
Mhm.
we get the ball rolling, we get the momentum started, we start to see the differences that this could make if we continue on. And that's
Mhm.
one thing that a challenge needs to do in order to be high converting is that it needs to also show them the gap. So you need to get a quick win like you did with great, under my bed is now clean, right? I didn't even realize I had that under there. But then you're like, well, what about inside, the bottom of my closet? What about this, right? So it shows you where you're lacking and
Mhm.
it makes you want to get help in those areas as well too, which should lead into your next level program.
Okay, love it. So tell me why this is I know you work primarily with health coaches. Why does this work so well in the health space?
Like I mentioned, it gives them some experience with you first. I think particularly in the health space, a lot of people think I know what to do. I just need to stop eating so much and work out more, right? Like that in their mind, it's like they know what they need to do for their health. But in reality, they don't. They really don't know where their habits are falling apart. They don't know where the simple low lift ways that create a lot of leverage in improving their health. They don't know those things. And so in the health space, a lot of times with a challenge, again, you're identifying that the gap, you're identifying where they still need help, and it's that self awareness tool. So when you say, for example, let's go back to the no sugar challenge. We're going to do a no sugar challenge. This is how you read food labels and look for added sugar in your food. People will start picking things up at the grocery store and be like, oh my God, I had no idea this had 21 grams of sugar in it. I'm having it every morning, right? And so it starts to bring that self awareness into their routines, their habits, where they need continued help. And it shows the participant how the coach can effectively do that and point them in the right direction. And so in the health space, again, it's the hardest thing is getting started. So if we
Mm,
can get that ball rolling and bring some self-awareness around where they can improve and what they still need so much work on, it leads to them wanting to work with you, as a coach continuing to move
yeah.
forward.
Okay, that's awesome. I love that. Tell me about some of the mistakes that you see us make so we can avoid those
Yes.
when
So
we
I
do
think
challenges.
one of the probably the biggest mistake that I see coaches make is that they don't set the expectations of what the challenge is going to entail and tell people how to prepare for the challenge before day one. So what I see a lot of coaches do is they're enrolling all the way up until like the challenge starts at 8 a.m. on Monday. They're like enrolling until 8 a.m. on Monday. And yes, that can be good for marketing, but what if we close the doors to the challenge 2 days early and we said, okay, doors close here. You could only enroll up until this day, but we're starting, 2 days later. And that gap gives you time to get the client prepared. It gives them time to access the community, to learn how to get into the community and post a question. It gives them time for you to, if you're doing some sort of like, let's say meal planning challenge, for you to send out the meal plan so they can get to the grocery store, so they can do the meal prep, right? Because we want them on day one to be ready to go and starting, especially if you're running a short challenge, let's say like a 3 to 7 day challenge. If they've missed day one, they're probably not going to continue on, right? You've lost them at that point.
Especially if it was free, right? They're like,
Yes.
oh, well, I'm behind.
Right. Maybe I'll come back to this next time she runs it, right? And so what you want to do is make them successful from day one. If you have said, this is what you need to do, this is the clear list of expectations I have from you, this is how you get prepared so that on day one, we're ready to go. And don't just send out one email, send out 2, 3 emails showing that, post in the community, ask for feedback, let them reply to your emails, right? You want to really get them ready before the challenge even starts.
Okay. So it's like a pre-challenge onboarding kind of runway we need to consider.
Yes. And onboarding, as you know, Jody, with like having a membership and all that, onboarding is one of the most important pieces to having success with your clients across the board, whether you're running challenges, a course, a membership, whatever it is. You need to get people when they're most interested, when they very first sign up, you need to show them how to get started. Okay. So that they don't have that block. Now,
love it.
Yeah, so I'll give you 3 because there's 3 mistakes that I just really wish coaches would improve upon so that they can have successful challenges. The second thing is a lot of coaches say, I didn't get the engagement that I wanted during my challenge. I ran this and it was crickets. Nobody was asking questions or talking. And I'll look back on their community forum, say, okay, you asked really open-ended questions like, how is everybody feeling today, right? Inside of the chat. And most people aren't going to respond to that because they have to really think hard about what they're going to say. They don't want to sound stupid. They say, how am I feeling? I'm going to come back to that later. And then they never do. And so instead, what I encourage people to do to increase engagement is, first of all, ask many questions, not just one, ask many questions throughout the day, pepper it in, and ask very specific questions. So you could say, for example, like, what did you have for breakfast? Or let's say you're cutting coffee. That's part of your challenge is no coffee. Say yes or no. Were you able to avoid coffee this morning? Right. And if no, will you tomorrow? Right. So make a commitment for tomorrow, and just them putting that in the chat. Number one, makes that commitment for tomorrow and kind of lets them off the hook a little bit for that day to say like, okay, I'm not going to give up. She's saying like, if I didn't get it done today, I can still do it tomorrow. But also it starts that conversation. So people start posting more. They see other people posting. You can respond to the posts that they made. It increases that engagement with those simple, direct questions. And then the last thing is not showing your face enough. And this is a big one. You probably know, Jody. It's like, it's so hard for especially newer business owners to show up on camera, and I get it. I've been there. But I actually just listened to your podcast on the like producing B- work, and I loved it. I love that because I can relate to it so much well, number one, it gets you to do stuff. So if you're not looking for perfection, you're more likely to put the content out there, right? Mm-hmm. But also, I think our clients are looking for that. They don't need to see a perfectly curated video of you. They just want to see the real you. But they need to build that relationship with you. Hosting a challenge, when you're running a challenge, this is your opportunity to build connection and to build a relationship with your clients. And if they can't feel your energy, they don't know what you're like as a coach, they're not going to continue on. And so show on that welcome video that you send out, a quick, welcome email. Send a quick video with it. And it can be just 1.5 minutes long, just you saying, hey, I'm here for you. My name's Valerie. I'm your coach. We're not looking for perfection, but this is what we are looking for. You get prepared by doing these few things. I'll see you inside the community. Let's do this together. Right. And it's just a quick video showing who you are, showing how you react, right? How your mannerisms, that's really important for people.
Yeah.
And so showing your face inside of the community, inside of your emails can be really valuable.
That's good. I love that. I'll just add to help people who, in getting over that perfection, I don't look good, I don't sound good, or whatever, what could go wrong. I just had a group of coaches here for sales school, which is a workshop I teach. And so we were talking about marketing and sales and everything. And one of them was sharing that she joined my program in my last launch. Okay. But my last launch on the first day, and it was over the course of 2 weeks, there were like 6 days that I was live on Zoom. Okay. And we had like 10,000 people register for this
Oh my
launch, which
gosh.
was
Yep.
big for me.
Yep.
And the first day I go to log in and I can't remember what the issue was, but like something was wrong with my computer or my Zoom or whatever. Like I had to like completely shut my computer
Oh,
down and hadn't given myself enough time. And then I think I even had to start it like on my phone
oh
and
my
then get my
gosh.
computer running and then switch it over. And it was just like, it was a nightmare a little bit, right? Like what you might be like, "Oh my gosh, why is
Mhm.
this happening right now of all times?" And
Yep.
I've been doing this long enough that I don't really panic over stuff like that. Like I know this happens, it'll be fine. But
Yep.
still it was like very not ideal timing and a pretty major like tech issue. And then we finally get it up and running and I'm still like as I was getting started a little bit flustered about everything and it just took me probably 5 or 10 minutes to like get in the groove of like really teaching well and everything. But anyway, this coach at my in my class, she said, "I joined after seeing that. Like after seeing you have this big tech problem and just one thing after another going wrong and you didn't panic about it, but you also acknowledged it and I could tell you were a little nervous and then you just moved on and it just made me feel like, "Oh my gosh, like she's like me and this is I can totally do this." Like
Yes.
and I was like, it's so what we think is terrible and that we need to hide for some people is actually the turning point
Yep.
because they feel like it's safe to be human in your community when they see your humanness.
Yep.
So
I
it's so important that you just be imperfect about it, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah. I think that relatability goes further than people even know. Like we've heard it before. Being relatable is, going to take you further. But another example on that, so like the way you and I met. So over the past couple of years, I started joining seven-figure masterminds, right? I kind of got to that point in my business and I remember being like, "Oh my god," the first one I joined, I was like, "I'm going to feel so like out of place." I was nervous going into it.
Mhm.
And then after the first couple of days, I realized, wow, these are all just like, we're all people that make mistakes, like that didn't have a good year, that did have a good year, that are, tried this and failed. And then we're going to try something else and maybe that will work. And then we're going to go, improve upon that. And then like, oh, this is not what I had anticipated in the best way. I felt so
Right.
comfortable. And what that gave me, the confidence that gave me to move forward, to do more things like that, to excel my business even further past that, I can't even explain it in words because it just gave me almost like permission to be like, "Oh, you're a little sloppy and messy sometimes, and so what?" Right? Everybody
Yes.
else is too. Yep.
Totally. I like whether we're in the seven-figure room or we go to some other things in our community that are like people who aren't quite there yet, it's the same things that we're talking
Mhm.
about. It's
Yep.
people are insecure, people are afraid, people are uncertain, people are yeah, like you said, we're all just trying trial and error.
Yep.
It's not different at this
Mhm.
level. I mean, like we have different skills we have to learn and some things we have learned, but we're still just human beings in the end. And it's
Absolutely.
and people know that, but they need to see that, and I think all the coaches listening, like, your clients need to see that part of you, and we talk so much about you have to be authentic on social media, but what does that even mean? That
Mhm.
means that you're not gonna be perfect sometimes,
Mhm.
and you might not look great that day, your hair didn't turn out great, and you don't like how you sound, and okay, like,
Yep.
then let that be true and just do it anyway and show
Yep.
up anyway, and I know we're belaboring that point, but I think it's so important.
Actually, in our last challenge, I was trying to make this point. I was trying to run this point home that like, please don't let like the video content and all of that like stop you from doing what you want to do. And so the very first video I posted inside of the group, like introducing myself, it was 5:30 in the morning. I had just gotten back from the gym. I had no makeup on. And I was like, I'm going to take this video with that intention to show them that like it doesn't have to be. In fact, people don't want it to be perfectly curated. Like
Right.
you just have to get people the results. That's the whole point, right?
Yes, that's right.
The the whole thing is about getting people a win. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you know, yes, be a professional, don't, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah. So good. I love it. Okay, so give us kind of Valerie's going to give us kind of the basic structure, you guys, I think, for a challenge, right? Like just some
Yeah.
basics. But then for those of you who are like, okay, but how does that work? And how do I do a community? And how do I like I know there's so many questions I can just hear. I know the questions my clients would be asking right now. And she's going to tell you where to go in a minute here to get all of those questions answered and get Valerie's help for free with this. So hang tight, but I want to just get the basics of like what do we need if we wanted to set up a challenge? What questions should we be thinking about?
Yeah. So the first thing we got to be thinking about is what is the outcome of the challenge? What are we trying to achieve for our clients? Because there needs to be a clear outcome and a clear method of getting people there. So if let's use like we run a no processed food challenge, right? Or we have in the past, and we have that actually already inside of our wellness vault. We have pre-done challenges that you could use and run with.
Nice.
And so one of them is that our no processed foods challenge. So when people do that challenge, they inevitably lose a couple pounds of bloat. It happens to almost everybody who completes the challenge. And this is coaches. I run it with health and wellness coaches. And even them, they're like, wow, I thought I had everything locked in, but oh my gosh. And I lost like 4 pounds this week of just inflammation, right? And so that could be your promise, is that you are saying, the method is we're cutting out all processed foods. We're eating only foods that exist in nature. And the outcome is that you are going to lose at least a couple pounds of inflammation and bloat and reduce some of your brain fog, right? So there needs to be a clear outcome.
Okay.
The next thing is there needs to be an easy way for people to sign up. So if you're like, well, DM me or book a call or do this or like, no, a challenge it's a lead in, right? So we don't want those extra steps. So the easier we can make it for people to sign up. And if you're local, this could be as simple as a sign up form that you post at your gym, right? Like it doesn't have to be complicated, but give people an easy way to register. If it's
Okay.
low ticket, send them to a Stripe page and have them buy right there, right? If it's
Okay.
free, have them just put their name on a sign up form and send them an email after.
Okay.
Then we need our deliverables. So our deliverables are the resources that are going to get the client the result. Now, what I see coaches do a lot is they give a whole bunch of stuff, like extra stuff. Then it's like, that's great, but was that resource directly tied to the outcome of the challenge, right? And if the answer is no, I wouldn't give it during the challenge unless it's a bonus. Okay. Bonuses are fun. People love bonuses, but
Mhm.
don't make it part of your initial deliverables just because you feel like you have to give a lot. No, you can give a meal plan and a workbook. And that's it, right?
Okay.
Like that could be as simple as that.
Okay.
What's going to help people through the week that they need to mark off, check off. And then you don't need a community. Like I think it's great to have a community because again, it's just more interaction with your client. But if that's holding you back and you're like, I don't know, like I'm really nervous about this community thing, like, okay, let's drop the community at first. And instead let's do a welcome live call and let's do a final live call, right? Like the
Mhm.
community is great. And I think that as you run challenges more and more, then yes, it is something you should 100% bring in. But the very first time you run it, if you don't want that community, like don't let that be the thing that stops you from doing it. But if you are going to run it, you can run it on a Facebook page. Don't make it complicated. Just create a free Facebook page. It doesn't necessarily need to be like in Kajabi or in Go High Level or, it doesn't have to be something like that. It can be a simple link to a private Facebook page, right? Simple as that.
Yeah. Love it.
And then, what's helpful, especially for like short challenges, is daily like focal points, like you said, with the cleaning out underneath your bed, right?
Yeah.
So if you can think of, okay, we have this overarching theme that we're doing no processed food or no sugar or whatever it may be. But then every day I'm going to talk about fiber today. Like, just pay attention. Here's how you look at how much fiber you're getting in the day. Go ahead, write that down. These all should be self-awareness tools that lead them into your next level program. So
Mm,
if fiber is something you teach in your next level program, let's get them aware on how much fiber they're having during the day. Okay.
mm,
So again, these are all self-awareness, little daily tasks to help them recognize where they might need help moving forward past the challenge.
mm.
So that's it.
So are you saying, because I always think of a challenge as like, okay, well, I got to think of something to give them to do every day. Like I
Mhm.
remember being like, clean out your under your bed. Now we're gonna do your your a drawer in your bathroom or whatever, right? And
Yep.
it could be that, but it could be like for the next 5 days, you're not eating these kinds of foods. You're eating off of these recommended foods I'm giving you instead.
Yep.
And then each day I'm just kind of giving you more knowledge, or maybe a, like you said, a small task that makes me more aware. It
Yep.
doesn't have to necessarily be like, this is something you're going to do every day. It could just be added
Yeah.
support.
Right. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a
Okay.
new thing every
Okay.
day, right?
Yeah.
It should be something they're doing daily, but it could be a repetitive thing like, okay, we're going to
Yeah.
track your macros for 7 days and you're going to try to get 30 grams of protein in every meal. And that's what you're doing for the week, right? Is you're
Right.
tracking for 7 days and trying to get 30 grams. And that's the whole thing, right?
Right.
And then, but you still want to have that daily communication with them to be like,
Yeah.
like maybe you did, maybe you didn't post in the chat, yes or no, right? And then
Yeah.
you could have some additional like an email that goes out that say like, hey, here's our 5 breakfasts that I have on repeat that get me 30 grams of protein. And here's what I love about them, right?
Yeah.
This one takes me under 2 minutes to make. This one I can make ahead in batch. I can cook for the whole week, right? So
Mm,
you can give little tips like that that show
I
people
see.
like, oh, this is how I make this easier, right? As we go along. And so it doesn't have to be a changing task every day. It can be the same thing, but you still want to have that daily communication.
Yeah, I like that. A daily touch point, and ideally a way for them to maybe ask a question or share how it's
Yep.
going, which could be the community, but it could also be responding to an email or coming to
Ex-
a Zoom call and participating, right? Is what you're
Exactly.
saying? Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, that's awesome. I love that. Um, okay, I know again, like I have so many questions. I know everybody listening has so many questions, but I know also our time is limited here, and that's why you've created this awesome challenge builder boot camp that I'm
Mhm.
really excited. Should we tell everybody about that at this
Yeah.
point, or is there anything else that we're missing that we should include?
Yeah, I think we got the big things. I think the
Okay.
only last thing I would say is like make sure when you are creating your challenge that it directly ties into what you're selling next. So I see coaches create like I know I keep using the same example, but let's just say the no sugar challenge, but then their product is really like a fitness product, right? Like those don't directly intersect. They're close, they're related, but we want it to be a natural transition into what your higher ticket product or whatever you're selling after the challenge ends. So make
Yeah.
sure when you're creating a challenge that you keep that in mind.
Okay. I like that. I always think about like every solution should open up the next problem. Right?
Yes.
And so it's like I heard it said this way one time, like like the iPhone is a great solution that creates more problems for us because now I might need a case or a screen protector.
Yeah.
I need a cell phone plan, right?
Mhm.
Like a service. And so
That's so
it's
true.
it's a solution that has created new problems for me. And
Yep.
that's what we need to be thinking about with this, right? Like what is a little mini bite size, especially depending on the length of your challenge. Is this a 30-day challenge, a 5-day challenge? Like
Right.
um, what is the appropriate size solution that they're not going to get overwhelmed and lost by that they can do on their own that
Yep.
naturally leads to the next problem, which
Yeah.
is what my program solves,
Yep.
right? Okay, I love that.
Yep.
All right. So tell us about Challenge Builder Bootcamp. I'm so excited to participate in this.
This is fun. So we've run this a couple times now, and this honestly should be like $1,000+ product, but it gets such a great success that we're like, you know what? We're gonna invite your community for free to join us. And so it's 5 days and it's from August 10th to August 14th. We go live every single day and we build a challenge with you. So we go through, what your messaging needs to be, even your promotional programs. We're going to help you plan for a 7-day promotion for your challenge. We
To
will
get
go
people to your
to
challenge.
get people in, because sometimes that's the
Yeah.
hardest part, right? Is like,
Right.
great, I just created this awesome challenge. How do I enroll people, right? So
Yeah.
we teach you how to create a 7-day promotional program. We teach you exactly which deliverables are going to help get your clients the result and where to find them. And, if you are a member of the Wellness Vault, that portion is just so much easier for you to just grab the deliverables and run with it. But we teach you what you need inside of there. And then we help you with your pitch for after, because eventually at the end of the challenge, or maybe even towards the beginning of the challenge, and that's something we'll talk about in Challenge Builder Bootcamp, is when to do your pitch. But we'll teach you, okay, how do you do a pitch? How do you get this to not feel salesy and gross and that you're,
Right.
selling into something else, but rather be the next thing that people want, to be of service to people by offering them the next thing that they're actually looking for and asking for. And so we create it alongside with you. By the end of the 5 days, you should have it fully ready to go. The deliverables, your promotional plan. Yes, you might need to write a couple emails at the end of that or make a couple social posts. But aside from that, the challenge is like ready to be hosted. And so
I love this. I
it's
love
fun.
something where we're doing the work together. You have a little accountability, you have some motivation, you have a reason to sit down and get it done, and you have a resource there to help you along the way. So I would absolutely. I'm so grateful that you're doing this, Valerie, and it's so generous of her that she's offering this to us for free. So everybody take advantage of it. We'll tell you where to go to sign up in just a minute, but I do want to add, like, this part of our job as coaches, this is for marketing purposes, right? But to me, I love that I get to do it because there are a lot of people out there who, for whatever reason, can't afford or are not going to come through my paid program. But I don't feel bad about charging, and even charging high end sometimes, or charging whatever I need to charge to make it worthwhile, because I provide so much value in the marketing part. And I love when people come to something like this, a course, a webinar, a challenge, whatever, and say, that was so awesome. It made me want to join your program. That's great. But I also love it when people say, that was so helpful. And I wasn't able to join your program, but that really helped get me pointed the right direction. I'm like, awesome. And it does,
Absolutely.
it serves everybody when you show up like this. And yes, you got to be strategic about what you're doing, because the people who are the right fit for your program, it should become obvious to them
Right.
if you run it the way Valerie's going to teach you. And also the people who are not ready for it or not a right fit, that will be obvious to them too, but they'll be glad they came. They will leave better than had
Absolutely.
they not come. And that's
Yep.
just a win for everybody. So
Yep.
I don't know. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, this is fun for me. Like,
Yeah.
this Challenge Builder Bootcamp is a challenge in itself. I just didn't call it Challenge Builder Challenge because then it's confusing for
It's a
people.
lot of
But it's
challenges.
a challenge. Yeah. And so it's hard, right? It's work that we're going to be putting into it, but I love it because I get to see the result that you get from it. And it's like, it's incredible. It's incredible the results that you come out with after doing something like this. And, you know, like Jody said, whether or not, you purchase anything else from me isn't the point. The point is really to get you a win. And we also do this as a way to support our current members. They join it too. They do it with us. And so we're supporting them along the way with these types of challenges as well too.
Yeah. And we get to learn from you you'll be teaching us, but also by watching you do it. You're demonstrating it as you're teaching it, which is ideal. Like whenever I teach a webinar on how to do webinars, I'm like, oh, I better make sure I really deliver this webinar the way I'm teaching.
Yes.
It's like, it just speeds up the learning. So we'll put the link in the show notes here for everybody. wellnessvault.com/challenge builder Jody. We have
Yes.
our own special link, you guys, for all of you here at Better Than Happy. So again, we'll put it in the show notes, but it's wellnessvault.com/challenge builder Jody.
You got it.
I got that
That's
right?
it.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm just gonna ask you a couple other questions about this that I know might be in people's minds.
Yeah.
What if I don't have much of an audience at all, or
Yeah.
no audience? Can I still do this?
Yep. So the very first challenge I ran, the one that had 6 participants, I didn't even have Instagram. Like I didn't exist. Right. And so
Yeah, yeah.
in my world, it existed,
Right.
but I wasn't on it. And so Yes, you can have a small audience or no audience and still run these challenges. The way that I ran it the first time is I had a couple referral partners and I had past clients who were mostly my friends that I
Mhm.
told to bring other people in. And that's the cool part about challenges. And that's how fast it can grow
Yeah, that's
because,
true.
yes, people want to do it with
We
their
like to do them
friends.
with friends. Yeah.
Right? So they invite two, three, four people. And before you know it, it's like, oh, wow. Okay. This thing that went from like 6 people when I first trialed it is all of a sudden at hundreds of people the next time I do it because of how quickly that snowball rolls.
So
Hmm.
good. Lastly, have you seen on Instagram everyone's talking about Jessie, is it Jessie Jane? She is doing this yap challenge, she calls it,
Yes. Yeah.
and she just had so many people sign up for it. She made like over $1 million on just the challenge
Just,
itself.
yeah.
And anyway, I do think that if you think about what's happening in the world with AI and everybody's so like, I feel like mostly anti AI in all kinds of ways. We don't just want information anymore. We don't just want somebody to talk at us or we need some of that, but we want more than that. We want an experience.
Mhm.
And that's what I love about this. It's taking the marketing component from just like, let me teach you a webinar or something to like, let's work together. Let's have an experience. Real people. You don't have to wonder if this is AI because we're going to
Yep.
be interacting. And I think we're going to see a huge just desire for that, with our clients, but even in our marketing going forward.
Absolutely. I think experience is just what people are craving right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So good. All right. Well, Valerie, thank you so much for coming on. Again, we'll put the notes to the Challenge Builder Bootcamp in the show notes. Everyone go check it out if you're a coach, especially if you're a health coach, health and wellness coach. And thanks for coming on today, Valerie.
Yes. Thank you, Jody. It's been an honor, truly.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to today's YouTube video. I hope that you got some great takeaways that will make your life even better than happy. If you liked what you heard here today, please share it with a friend. And most importantly, make sure that you've subscribed and enabled notifications here on our YouTube channel. Doing that serves two purposes. First, it helps you to make sure that you never miss an episode when we release a new one. But second of all, selfishly, it helps me get my work out to more people and helps our YouTube channel grow. So thank you in advance. I will see you next time on another episode.